Why you buy the card and not the grade. Welcome to the Solve Yugioh channel where we discuss everything collecting and investing in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, this is a pretty important topic, but I know it's so boring that everyone will click off, and that's fine. Be it, Timmy. Or maybe you're a god and you already know everything here. That's fine too. So we already know this mantra. The idea that when you go to buy a PSA or BGS graded card, you're not just looking at a number. You're not just going, oh, it says 10. We already know all that. You know, everyone says buy the card, not the grade. Maybe they made a mistake. And while this seems like very obvious stuff for everyone that's very seasoned into this stuff, I think it's still important to remember why do people say that? Because the markets have been going up so much, everyone's just scrambling to buy whatever they can that says 10 or 9. The 10s are so rare that they're like, fine, I'll get a weak 10. Fine. Oh, that would get a 7 today? No, I want the weak 10, whatever. I'll pay full 10 price. Give it to me. Because there's just that little supply. And everyone thinks, well, they're in the slab already and the slab will forever say 10, so what's the problem, right? Well, that idea stems from the fact that you don't realize what the point is of grading to begin with. We already discussed this on the channel before. The idea is basically to have a form of, hello, this is the condition this is in. When you are trying to sell a raw card, you basically have to fight with your buyer about condition because one person's near mint is not the other person's mint. One person's mint is not the other person's mint. Mint and light play might as well be the same thing to 99% of people in the community, especially when we're talking about people's own cards. So grading is kind of like an intermediary trying to get everyone on the same playing field there. Of course, it's also just very fun to collect. It adds heft. It's no longer just a piece of cardboard. It's now a piece of cardboard in a piece of plastic. But that whole idea gets lost when people start just going for the grade and when the grading company might be making a mistake, which they all do. You know, it's just human graders. But what people need to realize is that coins went through a very similar story, let's say. You know, again, they're just human graders. And so as this market matures, the true collectors who actually intend to hold these cards, they will check your conditions. And more importantly, if the demand grows for proper verification of a PSA grade, then the bad weak 10s might be in trouble. Let me explain. In coins, and again, I'm no coin collector, you know, I just get this information from other places. I personally am not interested in that market. And I know I'm not talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Better unsubscribe any moment he talks about anything but Yu-Gi-Oh!, right? In coins, there is what's called CAC. And what they do is essentially say, we will check for you if this other grading company graded properly. So you have NGC and PCGS, these grading companies grading coins, but then afterwards another grading company checks if those grading companies did their work properly. And then they put a green sticker onto that other company's slab, basically certifying this grade is accurate. So now graded coins with such sticker get a premium over graded coins without said sticker. So imagine you got a PSA 10 with a older cert, because a lot of people say that PSA slabs with an older certification were, you know, less strict. Let's say, actually, this one might be a good example. This 1000 Ice Restrict, the cert starts with 2.7. It's not super old like the 1.9s and so forth, but it's still relatively old in comparison to the 5.4 or wherever we're at right now. People might say, well, this was graded less strictly than it would be right now. And so you would bring this to CAC, or well, another company that would do it for graded cards, which currently doesn't exist. And then they check, hey, this is not a 9, fuck off. And now, you will get less of a premium on this one, because if there is a 1000 Ice Restrict with a 9, with that little sticker from that company that doesn't exist, by the way, then suddenly you lose a portion of your premium. This is only in coins right now, as far as I'm aware. This is not yet a thing in cardboard. But as all these cards keep growing, and as the card market keeps growing, we might see demand for such company in cards, which means that all of your weaker cards will, you know, quote unquote, get fucked. Again, this is purely speculation. Such company doesn't exist, but you need to be aware of that risk. If a lot of people start to realize, well, back then they weren't as strict, so now we have to go to the newer certs, that might become a problem. We might start seeing a company like CAC in graded cards. At which point, if you have been buying the card and not just the grade, you are being rewarded. Whereas if you were just buying all the weak 10s out there, you're kind of getting fucked. In the end, a grading company is just there to verify condition. If the slab doesn't even do that, it might as well not be graded. Unless, of course, people just keep speculating on the number. That's possible, but there's always the risk that they stop doing that, in which case you really want to have the stronger cards. Another option, by the way, and this doesn't even have to be a company like CAC with their green sticker onto this type of slab, we might get machine graders. At one point, we might get some kind of fancy tech AI company who just puts your card into a machine and then gives you a grade that's maybe never a 10, because 10 would be perfect and the machine can always find something, but maybe then we get a grading scale of 1,000, and maybe this 1,000 dice restrict is actually a 9.2375. Once we get to that point and you have a bunch of very weak graded cards and the standard becomes to just, break some of your stuff and get a truly accurate grade, once again, that machine would probably do a much better job than any human, at which point you want to make sure that you bought cards that were actually properly graded. So this is basically the reason why you want to ensure that you don't just buy the grade. You want to make sure that if in the future this market changes in any way, and it absolutely can, that you're still more safe, that you're still holding the true grails. This market is young. Very young. Demands will change, the markets will change, and basically the better type of card you're holding, the better you are insured against any types of risk, really. That is all. Hope you found it interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.